Alright you guys, so it's night 1 of sleep training. Wish us luck. I just finished doing Riley's bath time routine. I got her in her nice comfy PJs. She's got these little PJs with like little unicorns. Joe just finished installing the monitor in her room because we've been using the monitor, but he wanted to like mount it onto the wall. So let's go check in on him and see how he's doing. Alright, so this is Riley's room. And there's a couple things that are out of place here, but this is her crib that we're gonna be putting her in. Joe installed the monitor right there so we can see her. And then this is the one little lovey that we're gonna give to Riley so that she can like cuddle with it and hopefully just like play with the tags until she goes to sleep. We've got her sound machine over here, so that is like some white noise in the background for her. So her room is set up and ready to go. Now all I have to do is I'm gonna go ahead and nurse her because that's like the last part of our routine for the day. I'm gonna nurse her. Maybe I'll read her a little book if she'll let me. She's getting a little tired, so I'm gonna do those two things, and then as soon as she's drowsy but not asleep, I'm gonna go ahead and put her in the crib, and then we're just gonna go ahead and start counting the minutes of crying. For those of you guys who haven't seen my other sleep training video, go ahead and watch that one first. It talks about like why we're sleep training and like the whole method that we're using. Long story short, we are going to be trying the Ferber method and we'll just kind of see how that goes. But in that other video, I kind of just like go into like all of our sleep issues that we've been having. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started, I guess. Are you ready for this, Joseph?
Yeah.
Do you think that she's going to cry a lot?
Probably.
What are you doing?
I'm just seeing how it looks on the camera.
Okay, so this is our little monitor. Okay, so I nursed her, and like right when I saw that she started like closing her eyes, like she would have probably fallen asleep nursing had I let her. I put her down in the crib. It felt so weird to do that. I was like, it was just a very strange thing. But now we're watching her in the monitor. She's not asleep. She is like wide awake. So I don't know at what point she's gonna realize like, oh, well, I need to go to sleep and start crying. So I'm sure that's gonna start momentarily. But for now, I don't know, we're just gonna watch her. What time is it? It is 8:52. So we'll see when she decides to go to sleep. So following the Ferber method, which is what we're using tonight, when she starts crying, the first time we let her cry for 3 minutes, and then after that, we go in, we check on her, and then after we check on her, if she's still crying, then we go in after 5 minutes of crying. Same thing, go back in, pat her on the back, kind of tell her that we love her, and then leave the room. And then after that, wait 10 minutes of crying, and then keep doing that every 10 minutes if she doesn't stop crying. Okay, she's starting to get fussy. She's starting to be like, okay, what the heck, people? This was funny for a while, not anymore. This is gonna be so hard. I already know it. It's gonna make me so sad to hear her crying like that. But I know it's for a good reason. It's to help her learn how to sleep. So she needs this. She's already crying.
Oh, good. Are you crying?
I'm going to. It's gonna be really hard. I told Joe that he's gonna have to lend me his Bose noise canceling headphones.
I'm gonna have to handcuff you.
You're gonna have to do something.
How long has it been? When did it
Well,
start?
she just started now, so let's record that. It's 8:57. So it took her like 5 minutes to realize like, oh,
She's gone.
I'm not going to be going anywhere. So at 9, after the 3 minutes of crying, we'll go in and check on her. Okay, so we just went in there, and the method that we're using tells us to like, you can only be in there for like 1 or 2 minutes. It was hard seeing her cry.
Yeah.
It was hard seeing that. So I was in there, I patted her back. We told her mommy and daddy love you, and she was still crying. So I don't think she really cares. She was on all fours when we got there. So it looks like she's trying to figure out like what's a comfortable position to go to sleep in. So now we're gonna let her cry for 5 minutes, and then we'll go back in, and that's just gonna be the pattern until she falls asleep. What I'll do is I'll just like check in with you guys once she's finally asleep. That could be in a very long time. Okay, so at 9:32, baby girl fell asleep. She started crying at around 8:57, and we did a 3-minute checkup, a 5-minute checkup, and then a 10-minute checkup. At the 10-minute checkup, I just let Joe go in because I was like, I just didn't want to see her. She was having a fit. And then we would have had to go in after another 10 minutes, but she fell asleep. I am like shocked that she went to sleep. I thought it was gonna at least take another round. Every round, like, she kept crying more, and it was obviously getting her really tired. So she would kind of stop crying and whimper a little bit, but eventually she fell asleep on her stomach. So that's like, she never does that. So I'm really happy that at least that was probably better than I thought it would be. Wasn't as painful. I was trying to distract myself while she was crying. I was like editing one of my videos because I didn't want to just sit there and stare at the monitor. So let's see how long she stays asleep. Our doctor recommended that she still nurses at least once in the middle of the night. So depending on what time she wakes up, I'll nurse her, and then if she wakes up or when she wakes up, we go through this whole process again. It starts again at a 3-minute checkup, a 5-minute checkup, and then 10-minute checkups until she falls asleep. So hopefully we won't have to do too much of that tonight. But now we're just gonna like shower and get ready to go to bed and just relax. So I will let you guys know how she did later tomorrow in the morning. All right, you guys, so it's 8 in the morning the next day. I'm gonna update you guys on how she did last night, but she's still sleeping, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, which is when her like normal schedule starts. So I don't wanna like throw her off schedule. So I'm actually gonna go wake her up. I never thought I'd be saying this, but let's go get her. Say hi, friends. Say, I slept so good last night. It feels so nice to hug her now because I wasn't able to pick her up and hug her last night when she was crying. Okay, so we finally got Riley to go to sleep. At 9:32 is when she passed out. She woke up again at 12:10 in the morning, which that alone was a pretty good stretch because she doesn't do that. Like, she doesn't do like 2 hours of sleep, so she did more than that. You don't want me to tell them? So we were really impressed with that. When she woke up at 12:10, we started the process again. We let her cry for 3 minutes. We went back in after 5 minutes, and then we kept going in after 10 minutes. This time it took her a little longer to fall asleep, but not super long. We finally went to sleep again at 1:03. So that's like almost an hour of crying, but it wasn't like constant crying. She would kind of stop and she could quiet down, and actually a couple times I wrote down that she was asleep, and then she totally psyched me out and woke up again crying. So it really wasn't that bad. And then after she was asleep at 1:03, baby girl stayed sleeping until now. It was absolutely crazy. At 3 o'clock I heard her kind of whimper, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna go get her and feed her because I was planning on feeding her in the middle of the night. But as soon as like I went to go get up and like go get her to feed her, she fell asleep. Like, she was not crying anymore. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let her sleep. And then I figured that she'd probably wake up like around 4 or 5, but she didn't. Around 5, I was up and I saw her kind of move around, so I thought that she was gonna wake up. So again, at 8 now is when I'm waking her up, and she seems like she got the best sleep of her life. She has never done a 7-hour stretch ever. Like, that's insane. So a couple things about last night. I think the hardest thing was obviously hearing her cry was not fun, but in addition to that, we had the owlet on her, but I think because of like how much she was crying and like moving around, it positioned itself like in a bad place, so that some of the readings you couldn't get. So when it's not properly positioned, it makes like a loud alert noise, and like the base station like goes off. So that woke us up in the middle of the night a couple times, and then finally we just turned it off. So I think as she gets better with like not moving around as much, that should kind of like not be an issue. So I think like after like about 4 in the morning, we just turned it off. And then the only bad thing about that was like every time that she like at that 1 o'clock in the morning mark where I was still awake trying to put her down, it's hard for me to like go back to sleep once I'm awake. So I'm gonna have to work on that. So every time that like she woke me up, or every time that the outlet notification woke me up, it was really hard to go back to sleep. So I wouldn't say that I slept super soundly, but I definitely loved having my bed to myself. I woke up at 7 because Joe had to leave to work. And like I woke up, I made myself a cup of coffee and I did my makeup, I ironed my hair, bless you. Like I haven't been able to do that and I don't even know how long. So far, I will say that this has been much better than I ever thought it would be. But today we're gonna work on her nap, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so I just put her down for her first nap. She's right now wide awake in the crib. So she's got like an hour and a half in between now and her next feeding. So I'm just gonna kind of see how long it takes her to go to sleep. If she's crying for an hour, then that means that she only has half an hour for a nap. If she cries for an hour and a half, then that means that she gets no nap, because if I let her nap past that window, then her whole schedule is gonna get thrown off. So I'm just gonna watch her and see how she does. Obviously this is her first nap. The room is still kind of bright. We don't have blackout shades yet. So I don't know, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Okay, so I actually just let her sleep. Baby girl took a nap that was over an hour long. It was like an hour and 10 minutes. She never does this. All her naps are always like 30, 40 minutes. So I'm so happy that she went to sleep, and she really only cried for like 15 minutes this time. Put her down and she didn't cry for like 15 minutes. She was just like hanging out in the crib, and then she finally started fussing a little bit. So I went in at the 3-minute mark, the 5-minute mark, and then the 10-minute mark, and that's it. She was out. I am like, or I don't even know if I went in at the 10-minute mark. No, I didn't even go in at the 10-minute mark, because when it was getting to be the 10-minute time, she was already asleep. So I am so proud of her. She's gonna be so nice and rested, and hopefully that continues throughout the day. Hey guys, so I'm pretty sure I already gave you an update on her first nap of the day. Today is technically day 2 of the sleep training, and like I mentioned before, her first nap of the day was for an hour long, and it really didn't take that long for her to go to sleep. Later on, I'll actually list, like I wanna make a chart showing you guys exactly how long it took for her, you know, crying every single time. But her other 2 naps of the day, I know for sure that it was under 30 minutes that she was crying. So I think it was like 22 minutes and then like 24 minutes for the other nap. And for both of those naps, she slept for like 30 minutes. What was cool about her last nap, which was like around 4, was that Riley normally, like at the 30-minute mark, she wakes up from her naps and she like doesn't know how to go back to sleep. So she only sleeps for 1 sleep cycle. But during that nap, I noticed she woke up. I saw her kind of look around. She got on all 4s, and then she laid her head back down and she slept for like another 10 minutes. So that was actually really cool, because I've never seen her do that. I've never seen her like wake herself up and then put herself back to sleep. So I definitely think that she's learning stuff. I'm super happy about it. Now tonight was night 2, so we had to increase the increments. Joe is making a cake. He almost freaking dropped the pot, or whatever it is, the mixing bowl. Tomorrow we're having a little half birthday party for Riley to celebrate her 6 months, so Joe's making her a cake. So going back to her naps, that last nap, so she extended her nap for like 10 extra minutes, which I've never seen her do, so I was very impressed by that. And then right now, we put her to sleep, and then according to day 2, we were supposed to wait 5 minutes for the first time after she cried, and then 10 minutes, and then 12 minutes. We didn't even make it to the 5-minute mark. I put her in, we did our bedtime routine, I put her in her room. She cried for maybe like a minute or 2. I got the monitor set up, and she was asleep. So
I just noticed like that.
yeah, we were just like, wow, it's really silent over here. So that's like amazing. How do you feel?
Super happy.
I mean,
I think her body was starving for this.
You think her body was starving for the sleep?
For sleep. Good sleep. Quality sleep.
It could be just beginner's luck. It's only day 2.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
But baby girl is sleeping, and she really didn't even put up a fight. Okay, so today is technically day 3 of sleep training. Last night was the second night that Riley did sleep training, so I wanted to update you guys on last night. Still very early on in the sleep training, so I understand that we're gonna have some bad days and that we're gonna have some good days. Yesterday was a really good day, and I needed that. Like, I needed to have some kind of validation that this was working, and I definitely got it. I put her down at 9, and I was totally expecting her to wake up, I don't know, at least like around 12, like the night before. She stirred a couple times last night. She stirred like around 11 and 1 and 4. There were a couple times in the middle of the night where I could hear her on the monitor. So I thought every time that she stirred that I was gonna have to get up out of bed and do the whole Ferber method, the whole, you know, letting her cry for 5 minutes and then so on and so on. But before I could even like get my butt out of my bed, she was asleep. So I didn't get up from my bed last night, okay? Like I did not go into her room last night. Baby girl stayed sleeping. She slept until 8:30 in the morning. So from 9 to 8:30, she was in her crib, in her room. And like, honestly, just thinking about that, like I just want to cry because I never in a million years thought we'd even have like one night of that. Like she was not sleeping. So I'm hoping that the rest of the week goes like that. I'm hoping to document this for a week and just let you guys know how it goes. But so far, I only have good things to report. This morning, she put up a little bit of a fight for her first nap. Her first nap is around like 10:30. So like if she wakes up at 8:30, her first nap is at 10:30. So I give her like 2 hours of being awake before her first nap. And she cried for like 20 minutes. So we did the 5-minute, the 10-minute, and I don't even think we did a 12-minute because she was asleep. So far, I'm happy that all of her naps, even when she is fussing, even when she is fighting those naps, she hasn't cried. I think the first day she may have cried, I don't know, I'll have to go back and look at my numbers, but I think the first day she might have cried for like a total collective hour. But today she cried for less than half an hour, which is definitely doable. So I'll keep you guys posted on how she does for the rest of her naps today. But I really just wanted to fill you in on last night because last night was like, Joe and I both woke up. We were like in bed and I was like, and he asked me, he's like, so how many times did you have to get out of bed last night? And I was like, do you really think that if I had to get up out of bed multiple times last night that you would have been right there with me? So he's like, well, I don't know. I thought I just slept through it. But I told him, I was like, no, I didn't leave this bed. Riley slept through the whole night. And he was like in shock. He was like, oh my God, like, are you serious? So we were able to get up out of bed, go make breakfast, go like have a little bit of morning alone time and have our coffee. And it was just really, really nice. Hey guys, so it's been a few nights now already of the whole sleep training thing. So I wanted to just sit down and give you guys a quick little update. Last night was actually night 4, I believe, of her doing like the whole sleep training thing. And I feel like we've definitely made progress on like the nighttime sleeping. I think the 3rd night that she went down for bed, let me see, I've got like my little book here with all my notes, but my chicken scratch is kind of hard to read. So again, I'm planning on doing like a whole chart of like how long it's taken her to fall asleep and stuff. So yeah, the 3rd night we put her down like around 9:15 is when she finally fell asleep. And I think that night it only took her like 5 minutes miraculously to go to sleep. Like there have been a couple nights where she has barely cried at all to go to sleep, which is super shocking to me. I thought that we were gonna have to like endure hours and hours of her crying. So I feel like she's done like a really good job with like realizing that she's gonna have to put herself to sleep. So that night she went to sleep like around 9. Her bedtime has been about like 9 o'clock. So I know it's a little bit later, but it also lets her wake up a little later, so I'm not up like at 5 in the morning. Crossing my fingers it stays that way. And then that next morning she actually woke up around 7, so that was a little earlier than her normal like 8 o'clock wake up. So I don't know what happened there, but still, like if she's asleep from 9 something to 7, like I will take that. That is a good day. Last night we put her to bed around 9, and by 9:20 she was asleep, so it was just like a little bit of crying. I think it was like a total of like 15 or 20 minutes of crying. But she actually woke up today around 7:45, and it was funny because like I actually woke up like on my own and I looked at the monitor and she was like playing around with like her little lovey that we've been putting in her crib, and she was just like super content and happy, and I don't know, she wasn't crying. So I feel like nighttime sleep so far have been pretty good. I have noticed that she will wake up like in the middle of the night. Like I have the monitor, like I'm sleeping right next to the monitor, so anytime that she makes a noise I can hear it and it kind of wakes me up. But I've been noticing that she'll wake up, and then she'll kind of whimper a little bit. She'll do a little bit of crying, but like not even 5 minutes of crying. And then she'll put herself back to sleep, which I'm just thrilled about because she has never done that. She has never ever done that. I think I keep saying that throughout this video. I'm pretty sure that I keep saying like she's never done that, but honestly she hasn't. So that's been that. And then her naps have varied. Some days she's taken like an hour-long nap in the morning, which is amazing because she's only taken those 30-minute naps usually. Today her nap in the morning was 50 minutes or like 45, 50 minutes. So I'm happy with that. She's still doing 3 naps a day. So some days it'll be like a 1-hour nap and then 2 30-minute naps. I think yesterday might have been like a shorter nap day where all 3 of them were 30 minutes. But still, even with the naps, I don't think that she's cried for even 30 minutes to go to sleep. I think her normal put down time is about like 20 minutes of crying and then she goes to sleep. Sometimes it's less than that. Like today, I put her down and the increments at this point are you check in on her at 10 minutes, at 12 minutes, and then 15 minutes. So I didn't even have to go back into her room to check on her in 10 minutes because she had fallen asleep. So that was like amazing. You know, I will say that it doesn't really get easier listening to your baby cry. Like there are some times when I have to go in and check on her and like she's screaming and she's looking at me with these eyes like pick me up, hold me, like get me out of here. I don't want to be in here. So like that breaks my heart when I have to do that. But when I see the results of like the fact that she's actually sleeping throughout the whole night and like she looks a lot more rested and just happier, like it's worth it. It is so worth it. So we started this whole thing on a Friday night because it just worked out that way. Like I told Joe, if we're gonna start this thing, you're gonna be here to help me. So we worked it off of like his work schedule so that he could be home to help me. So we started on a Friday night. Today is Monday morning and I just feel like she has made so much progress. I think it is hard for her. Like on Saturday, we had like a little party for her 6-month birthday and like there were people in my house and it was just like there was a lot going on. So I think that day was hard for her to go down for her naps because she was like, you know, there's stuff going on here. There's a party. I want to be part of it. I do not want to go to sleep. So I think when she knows that there's like a lot of stuff going on, she doesn't want to miss out. Like baby girl has total FOMO. She like does not want to miss out on stuff that's going on. So I think those days are a little harder for her to go to sleep. But again, she hasn't cried for more than 20 minutes usually for her nap and then she'll go down. Now as the check-in times get like farther and farther apart, I feel like she might go to sleep even quicker. There have been a few times where like if you look at the chart and you look at when you're supposed to check in on your baby, like there have been some times where like it says, okay, after 15 minutes, you have to go check in on your baby. If I see that it's like time for me to go check in on her and I see in the monitor that she's about to fall asleep, I will like give it a few extra minutes. Like I won't be super strict on the chart because when I go in there, she gets pissed. Like when I go in there to check on her, normally it like stimulates her again. She gets even more pissed off that she's in there. So if I see that she's about to go to sleep, I give it a couple minutes and then normally she will put herself to sleep. If she starts crying and keeps crying, then I'm like, okay, I need to go in for that check-in. And then again, normally she does get really upset and then eventually she will go back to sleep. So that's pretty much where we're at now. I plan on continuing to talk about our progress throughout the whole week. So I will be back soon to give you guys an update. And as you can see, baby girl is just super happy. I have her here playing on this little play mat. Earlier today, she took a nap and she like fell asleep on her face and she had like the biggest red mark on her face. Hi, Gordy. Hi. I feel like she's so happy. She's really like excited when she's awake and she's like playing. So hi, beautiful. Hello. What you doing? Are you almost crawling? Yep, almost crawling. Okay, so just to give you a glimpse of the reality of this whole sleep training thing, right now I'm getting ready because I was gonna like film a video. I try to distract myself when she's crying, but she's going crazy right now. It totally sucked this time. Like she cried for 10 minutes. I went to go check in on her. And when I left, she was screaming bloody murder. Like she was so mad. So I'm hoping that this time within the next 10 minutes, she'll go down to sleep. If not, I have to go in at the 12-minute mark. But this is like the point in time when I get the anxiety, like when she's crying like this. Joe's at work right now, so he can't help me. He can't like, you know, I can't tell him like, I'll do the first one, you do the next one. So it's a lot sometimes. And like I said, I try to distract myself by, you know, answering emails and doing things that I need to get done, but you really can't stop listening to that and being like, I want to go help you and I can't. So this is the hard part. Okay, so she finally passed out. That was like 19 minutes of crying, but now she finally went down. Not fun, but now hopefully she'll sleep a good at least half an hour. I'll get some work done, and then when she wakes up, she'll be nice and rested. All right, so here's a weird one for you. So we put her down for her 4 o'clock nap, which is her last nap of the day. And normally she's screaming, crying, and then puts herself to sleep, but today she's not crying. She's just playing with her little lovey, putting her fingers in her mouth. So I don't know if she's even gonna go to sleep. So I guess we will see. All right, so today was a little bit of a hard day, I'm not gonna lie. Riley's naps were just not really fun today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if she's teething. She's having, since we transitioned her to solids, she had been eating bananas and like, I feel like she's constipated. So I don't know if that played a role, like if her stomach has been hurting her, but long story short, her first nap of the day was okay. She cried for like 15 minutes and then she slept for like half an hour. Her second nap of the day was atrocious. She cried for like an hour. And then the problem was that she normally has been like flipping onto her stomach and falling asleep on her stomach. But this time around, for some reason, she had kind of like fallen asleep, not fallen asleep, but she went onto her back and then she started playing with her lovey, which I'm glad that she's playing with the lovey and that she's kind of taken to it. It has like some little tags. So she was like on her back and just like playing with the lovey, like right in front of her. So her hands were kind of right above her. So it was funny because for some reason, I think like her playing with the tags, that puts her to sleep. So she was kind of like playing with it and then she would kind of drift off into sleep. But then she kept startling because like that's just what happens when she's on her back. She did that for a little while. I don't think she ever really went into like a deep sleep because she kept startling. So I think she's learning how to continue sleeping on her back, which I mean, that's good if she can sleep both on her stomach and on her back. But I feel like it's gonna take a few days of her trying that out in order for her to get it. But yeah, that nap was like really bad. Like watching her, like she threw a fit. Even Joe was kind of like, this is not fun. So hopefully we won't have many more like that. Her third nap of the day wasn't as bad. She like went into the crib. She wasn't crying for like 15 minutes. Like she was just playing with the lovey. And then she cried maybe for like 2 or 3 minutes. And then she fell asleep on her back also, playing with the lovey. But then she lasted for like half an hour. So again, we didn't have any long naps today, but I feel like she's learning how to do some new things, which is good. So we'll just have to continue and see how tomorrow goes. This is little Miss Riley. She was eating some rice cereal that's still all over her face, but other than that, she's a happy baby. Look, she's got like a little cute pony. You're a cute baby. You're a cute baby. How are you feeling now that you're more rested? Are you happier? Yeah? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, are you sleepy now? Okay, so Riley must have been super freaking tired tonight because I put her down. Oh, I just slammed the door by accident. Sometimes I think there's a ghost in my house because my door slams shut, but it's really just like the AC that closes the door. So anyway, what I was trying to say was that she must have been super tired from the day because we did her bath time routine. I got her in her PJs. I nursed her and she was already pretty tired because her naps have not been very good today, but I started nursing her and I noticed that she was like dozing off. So I kind of had to cut it short because she really would have just fallen asleep on my boob, and that's something you don't want to do if you're trying to get them to learn how to sleep on their own. So I put her in the crib. I gave her her lovey. She like complained for like a second, but she fell asleep. She didn't cry at all. So that's what we've been working towards. It hasn't happened until right now. Like Joe's in the bathroom, so I can't even tell him. But yeah, that's like a big milestone. I think tonight is night 5, I want to say, because we started on a Friday. I'm like always like losing track of the days. So we started on a Friday night and today is Tuesday night. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, so tonight is the 5th night that we do this whole sleep training. And even though today during the day the naps were challenging, right now she did wonderful. So yeah, I feel like normally she might have like one nap that's like really rough, and I feel like overall her naps have been harder than her nighttime sleep. So I don't know, I think it's just a process. But again, I never thought that we'd get to this point. I never thought that we would get to the point where even she would sleep 4 or 5 consecutive hours at night. So right now I'm a happy camper. Right now I'm very pleased with how she's doing. And I was telling Joe yesterday, I was like, I feel like I have my nights back. I feel like I can put her down to sleep, and now I can go and I can like take off my makeup, and I can like do a skincare routine if I wanted to, and I can like take a shower. I can even like get some of my blog work done and like just other things done from the computer, because when we were co-sleeping, if she needed to go to bed like at 8, I had to be in my bed at 8 o'clock because she slept like, you know, in between us. So I had to be there constantly to make sure that she didn't fall off the bed. So really, I wasn't able to do anything past her bedtime. So I was like held hostage and like confined to my bed the entire night. And I really couldn't do anything. So now I have at least a couple hours at night that I have back to myself, or like Joe and I, we can watch a show, and it's just so freeing. And the fact that she's sleeping is awesome because she really needed to sleep. So hopefully she does well again tonight. And again, I have a couple more days where I'm going to keep you updated, and then I'm planning on sitting down with Joe to do like a little like Q&A with him and like get his thoughts on how everything has been going. So if you've been following along, you're still watching, like, thank you so much, and I hope that you're getting some value from this video, because that's why I'm making it. Oh, and really quick before I forget, because I have been wanting to show you guys at some point this week, because it's something that I do every time but sometimes I forget to film it. I wanted to show you guys how we use the Owlet. I did a whole video on the Owlet, so you can like watch like the whole setup and the whole like explanation of the Owlet. But basically, it's a little monitor that's attached to her foot that monitors her heart rate and her oxygen levels. So we have been loving that during this whole sleep training thing, because like right now I can see in the monitor that she's sleeping. So I have the little monitor. Obviously I can tell that she's sleeping, but if I wanted to like know for sure that she was okay, if I was like being super paranoid, which I normally am, I have the app on my phone. So I have the Owlet app here on my phone, so I'm just gonna press on it, and then it says connecting. Her readings are normal. I can click on this, and then it shows me her heart rate and her oxygen level. So in real time, I know that she's okay, and I know that she's obviously, and you see like it just changed. So it gives me live readings of like her vitals. So that paired with the monitor just like helps me know that baby girl is okay. There she goes. It is 7:50 and I just woke up, and she is just hanging out in her crib, playing with her little lovey. She's so funny. I'll go get her, and then I'll nurse her, and then I'll give her cereal. Good morning. Hi. Good morning, my baby. How you doing? How you sleep, baby? Hi. Alright, you guys, so today has been a really good day. I put her down for her second nap, and it was so funny because I put her down in the crib. She didn't cry. I left the room, and she really didn't cry. She like made a few little noises here and there, but then she stayed playing with her lovey for like 8 minutes. Sorry, my mom is texting me because I'm telling her about Riley's progress. But she just stayed in the crib playing with her lovey, with the little tags that it has. And it seems like that process of playing with the tags, like she's starting to associate that with going to sleep. Sorry, like I've got like these baby hairs all over the place. But so she seems to be like associating the process of playing with those little tags with going to sleep. So for some reason it's soothing her and it's helping her to go to sleep. So I'm okay with that. All right, so she's doing it again. I put her down for her third nap of the day, and she's been in there for like 15 minutes just hanging out. She's not crying, which is good, but she's like playing with her little lovey, playing with the little tags. And she'll do that for a really long time, and then she'll start to doze off. So I'm hoping that she does the same thing now, otherwise she's not going to have her third nap. All right, so for the first time, she missed her nap. I literally put her down in the crib at 4, and she has been awake. It's now 5:05. I want to kind of keep her to our same like routine that we've been doing, so I'm not going to just leave her in there. She wasn't cranky, like she wasn't crying this whole hour. She's just been like twirling around and like going from one side of the crib to the other side of the crib and playing with her little lovey. But she never went to sleep, so I'm gonna go get her and then we'll just kind of see like how tired she is tonight. I might end up having to put her to sleep a little earlier. She doesn't make it until like her bedtime, so I guess we'll just have to see what happens. All right, you guys, so at this point it's been a little bit over 2 weeks since we started the whole sleep training process with Riley, so I really wanted to just give ourselves like a full like couple of weeks before I sat down and kind of gave you like an update on how she was doing. So I think overall Riley really surprised us. I feel like she did a whole lot better than we ever thought that she would do. I was super like, this child is never gonna sleep, she's gonna be waking up 5,000 times a night, she's not gonna nap, she's just gonna be terrible and sad and cranky all the time. I was very nervous about how the whole sleep training thing was gonna go. However, for the most part, I think that her actual nighttime sleep has been great. Her nighttime sleep, we've been putting her to bed like around 8:30 to 9, and then she's been sleeping through the night like ever since like the first couple of nights. I don't have to look back at the footage, but I feel like very early on she slept through the entire night, and that's been the case the last 2 weeks. She sleeps through the entire night, and then she's been waking up around 8 or 8:30. I think the earliest that she ever woke up was like 7:40-ish. But she hasn't been like a baby who wakes up like at 5 in the morning. I know that has a lot to do with the fact that she's going to sleep late, like she's going to bed between 8:30 and 9 as opposed to like 6 o'clock at night. But right now that's what's been working for us, so I am super happy. A couple times in the middle of the night, like I'll hear her, like the monitor will go off and she'll be like crying a little bit. It's happened a few times, but she has always put herself back to sleep. Like knock on wood, the last 2 weeks that we've been doing this, I have not once had to go into her room in the middle of the night to comfort her, to get her to go back to sleep. She has put herself back to sleep on her own, which I think is amazing. I feel like her naps have been more of the issue here, which again, if I have to struggle with naps, I can deal with that. What I couldn't deal with really was the fact that we weren't sleeping at nighttime. We were co-sleeping. She was right next to me. She was waking up 5,000 times a night. Now I can actually sleep through the night, so I'm not so like exhausted in the morning, so I have a little bit more patience. Right now we're really just struggling to figure out how many naps she needs. We've been doing 3 naps a day, but I feel like since she's 6 months old, almost 7 months old, and a lot of people have told me that like during that time their babies dropped a nap. So I feel like the naps have been hardest. The naps have been hard to figure out like how many naps she needs, when she needs to go down for her naps. Every baby's different, so every baby can last like being awake longer than other babies. Some babies can last like being awake longer before they need a nap. So we're still working on the naps. It's very inconsistent. Like sometimes I'll put her down for a nap and she'll go to sleep right away with no crying. And then sometimes I'll put her down and she'll like not cry, but she'll stay in her crib like playing with her lovey, and then after like 20 minutes she'll go to sleep. And then sometimes she'll like start crying the minute that I leave the room, and then she'll like cry for 20 minutes and then fall asleep. And then a couple of times it has happened where she's like, hell no, I do not want to take a nap, and she's cried for like almost a whole hour, or like been in there for like a whole hour, and you can just tell she's not going to sleep. So in those cases, I've just been like, screw it, you're not gonna nap today, you're missing this nap. So I don't know, I feel like the naps have been hard because those have been inconsistent. The nighttime sleep has been great, but not so much the naps. So yeah, really, I just wanted to update you guys. Thank you so much for following us along on this whole sleep training journey. Again, if you have any questions about anything that we did, or if you have any suggestions on how to get her to nap better, or like what you've done for your kids as far as naps are concerned, let me know. Leave them down below in the comments. Leave me any suggestions or tips so we can try to get that tackled. But yes, for like all of you mamas who have like been thinking about sleep training and have like struggled with figuring out whether or not you think it's a good thing or not, again, I was always on the fence about it. I was leaning more towards like, I don't want to do this. This is going to be really painful. But I am so happy we finally did it. Our lifestyle is now like totally different. I feel like I have my nights back. I put her to bed at 9, and then I have a couple of hours still like with Joe to just like catch up on shows or like clean up the house. Like, I don't know, I just feel like I have so much more of my sanity back where I'm not like confined to a bed, because when we were sharing the same bed, like if I put her down at 8 or 9, I had to be there in bed with her the rest of the night, because if not, she would fall off the bed. So I don't know, I just feel like it was the best decision for our family. It has definitely improved like how we all feel. So yeah, I'm really glad that we gave that a shot. And that's really it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.